drive. He's not just a pretty boy driver.
No, he said he was.
Now, Jeff McGinnis wanted me to make sure that you knew lefty loosey, righty tighty. Does your crew actually trust you working on that?
Which is my left? Not as much as we do with driving.
What did you give him here now on how to do that?
You guys taught me everything I know.
Oh, I've got it written on the
There we
back.
go. Let's have an expert finally look at it here. Now I'm more trusted. Pre-race drink?
Yes, T2.
That was a great hide spot. You never come down for 2 weeks.
So that's the pre-race drink. What's your celebration drink? Be honest.
43?
There you go. Crack one tonight, maybe?
Maybe.
There you go. Woo! See how much I trust you, Gerald? I didn't even look and he came that close to me. He is just that smooth of a driver. And I had total faith in him. Feature winner 1 week ago. Congrats. Finally got that monkey off your back this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we get rid of the monkey.
So this is where you hide all the secrets. Do you ever think your favorite spot would be this close to the tech shed?
Yep. The closer to the tech shed, the more they don't pay any attention to you.
Got nothing to hide, eh?
That's right.
If you want to see the advice we give them every day, Cameron. Now this says it all. This is our advice. When I'm not listening, they just point. Shut up and drive.
And I have a funny feeling Jolene came up with that one too, didn't she? Because it is probably true. Hey guys, how fun was that? Good? one was that?
Go, go.
Oh. Whatever your little hurt desires.
I'll open up.
You don't.
Hey, big fella.
Dominic! Yeah, I'm gonna count your Want your name on his car, Bella?
Write your name on the card.
On a
Look at the funny face now.
Short. On a marker in your pen. Want me to put your name on it?
Just don't ask Randy to spell.
Dog, D-A-W-G. There you go, sweetie. Oh, that's your pen. Did you get a picture, sir? Oh, I sure can. Just for you. You're quite welcome. Can I get a high five?
Thank you.
And here we are with two drivers from our Bandolero division, fresh off their 2019 season. 3rd and 4th in points in their second series. Thanks for joining us here, gentlemen. Let's talk about the last day of racing here. We'll start with you, Aiden. You went into the final day 3rd in points. This guy beside you here was trying to catch you in points. How much talk at the start of the day was there about points?
Well, there wasn't really that much. We were kind of going by the races, but it was a nice hard work all day. We were struggling with my car. We had some clutch issues, but we were tight all night. But when we came out to the feature, we were like, I was a hair apart from Will, but Will definitely had the car there, and yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, you came in trying to chase him down in points. I mean, it was going to be tough, but, you know, you were going to try to do all you could. Start of the day, Will, I mean, they were going to split the divisions, so that means that it was going to be, I want to say a little easier, but, you know, it makes for definitely a better race for you guys. So, going into the day, were you fairly confident to start?
A little bit. Me and Aiden are pretty close in the same speeds, and if they didn't, I would have rather have the feature together just so I could have gained a little bit more points, but either way it's going to be really hard for me to catch him with points because I had a bit of a rough weekend before.
How do you balance, you know, competitively racing against your friends? You guys obviously real good friends, you know, having lots of laughs and that, but how do you put that friendship aside and then go out and race competitively against them?
Just have fun, go out there and do my thing.
There you go. And you, Aiden, as well, too, there. You know, you were trying to chase him down all day there. Just talk about what your game plan was for that day to hold down that 3rd place in points.
Well, it was just stay close to him and then just try not to get in wrecks. My car was in a couple of wrecks this year, and I wanted to keep that car together. And me and Will, we struggled from last week, and we got in a hard wreck. We went sideways beside each other, but we're always friends around. Once you get dialed in the race car, it's kind of like you're ready, but you're still friends, but you don't want to wreck your friend. But
exactly. Now, you talking about wrecks here, you had a pretty bad one here early on in the season when the Maritime Pro Stock Tour was here. How tough was it to bounce back after that big wreck, and did it scare you any?
Well, not really. I had a hard wreck the year before, and it kind of showed me how the wrecks were, but when I went back from that, it was kind of just, you got to get back in that race car, get back on the game, and just race as normal.
Perfect. Now you, Will, you're a dual sport athlete here with racing and hockey and that. Now that you've finished your 2nd season of racing, what has racing taught you that might help you out into those other sports and really life in general?
Good sportsmanship, not to get mad over just little things, and be a good sportsman.
So, when you go to those other sports now, not too many of your teammates can say that they race a race car for the summer and that. How about your friends that, are they pretty jealous of you? What do they think? Probably pretty cool?
Yeah, some of them really think it's really cool. Some are here watching sometimes when I even race it. So.
Do you like whenever we get a couple of these races at the end of the year when school's also in so that you guys can go back to school on Monday after the big race?
Yeah, like this weekend we missed Friday at school because we went over to Mike Stevens. So.
Uh-oh, missing school. What about you, Aiden? Do you like, what are your friends at school and stuff like that say about you? Pretty cool to be a stock car driver and still in junior high?
Yeah, well, it's really fun because you get all your buddies out here having fun with them, and they're watching you and looking up to you, and then they're older than you because some of them are older than me, but they're still looking up to me when I race cars, and I love seeing them come out and watch me, and it's a very good fan sport and very good sponsors support too.
Question for both of you here then now. So your friends think it's pretty cool. What about the girls? What do they think of it?
I don't know.
No comment on that one?
No comment, really.
Well, guys, listen, the last question, and it'll be for both of you here. I'll go to you first. Obviously, very early into your stock car career, but if you could look ahead in 10 years, where do you hope to be in stock car racing?
I'd like to race pro stock with, I'm looking up to Jonathan from him winning Mike Stevens, and I was like, after that race, I'm like, I want to win like Johnny did, so.
Perfect. And what about you, Will, in about 10 years or so? I know it's hard to look that far ahead, but where do you want to see yourself in the future?
After I move out of the bandos, I'd like to go to the Legends maybe, and then once I get to be pretty good in those, maybe move up to a pro stock at one point.
Perfect. All right, one last thing I'll get each of you to say. Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, my mom, my dad, all the Ball and Boys Racing, the Woldridges for all helping me when I wrecked my car. We had it back together in 2 weeks. And then Alex Myers and Ricky Myers and Ducky for putting my bumper back together and stuff.
Wonderful. And you?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Ford, Lincoln, and I'd like to thank Danny's Auto Service, Bonus Motors, and my dad, my mom. My dad chose a lot of sport and racing since he was in it, and I just love having him all around the track. And I'd like to thank my grandparents. My grandfather always fixing my body when I wreck.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to thank Chris Hutch. He's helping me around with the cars and getting parts for the cars, getting engines, clutches, and anything to get me out there and try to win some races and try to get some points.
Wonderful. All right, guys, thank you very much. Good. Still with a 5-point lead over the Zero Camp Warriors as they will resume battle here now. I know both drivers are going to be in a hurry to get up front. Three wide down the backstretch already. Shuffled around, that's going to put Chisholm into third. Canton kind of stuck back into fifth. As drivers trying to negotiate here. Chase McKay, your leader. Danny Chisholm making a move now on second, right behind Chisholm with Zero Camp Warriors, making sure that he doesn't get too far in front of them. Chisholm will clear. Woolridge trying to clear as well. Chase McKay being chased right now by the 87. These guys want to run it inside. Inside for Chisholm now. Down the backstretch for the lead. Mini stop to the ramp, please. Mini stop to the ramp. Chisholm now. By the 71 of McKay. Woolridge trying to do the same. Around the 71 of Chase McKay so he can try to track down Chisholm. Next time by 3 laps to go though. now working at a disadvantage, trying to get by the Strider here. Flies in for the 87, a big missile. Mini stop for the ramp, last call, mini stop for the ramp. And we are here with the Parts for Trucks 150 winner. It is the 5 of Jonathan Hicken. And just first of all, of course, the obvious question first. Jonathan, I mean, what does it mean like to get back into victory lane here, especially at your home track?
Oh, it's pretty special. I always have friends and family here, lots of sponsors. Anybody that helps me out, this is the track that they come to watch, and it's always nice to see everybody here. Got a big fan base, and it's very special.
Very nice victory lane celebration there. Got a phone call in the middle of your victory lane celebration. Tell the people who that was from.
Oh, that was my father. He missed the first one about 20 years, I'd say. He doesn't miss too many, but he had to work this weekend and followed it along and gave me a call after it was all over. Pretty excited.
Will there be a few jokes in the garage this week about maybe not coming to the next one?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll miss any more or not. Hard to say.
Before I ask you about your crew there, I just want to get you to take a quick little look here at this, and you might need to refresh your memory here about this one here, but if you take a look here on this page along the left-hand column, that's 1998. That's the full driver standings there. What jumps out to you? This is year one now. You've come a long ways from the AMC Pacer, haven't you?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fights kind of stand out, to be honest with you. A lot of names here, arguments and wrecks over the years, but
which out of those AMC Pacer days, who got the most pissed off at you?
Oh geez, I don't know. There's a few of them on there. We'll not name any names. We'll keep it a good day today, but I had a lot of fun in the hobby days. That's where we kind of branched out of, and as a kid just got my license, picked up a hobby car, 6-cylinder, and started racing, had lots of wins, and we just gradually worked our way up over the years and had a pile of fun.
Now, the fun continues though, because I mean, you look at your teammates there, your crew now. I mean, back in '98, a couple of them, you guys were friends and you guys were racing against each other kind of as a team, but what does it mean like over those 20 years, you know, people like Andy White, I know Blaine Jenkins has been there, just to name a few. What's it been like to be that kind of camaraderie over those many years?
Oh yeah, Andy and Blaine and Keith, all the boys. It's just like to stick with somebody for that many years is hard to believe. Really, you got no words for it. It's just to hang on to a crew for that many years, through the good and through the bad. It's pretty nice.
Especially then you break it down. I mean, you've got two very talented brothers. I mean, you guys raced here locally, and then kind of went in different directions, but still stayed in the sport. I mean, but both of you is at the top of your game. I mean, how important has he been, your brother, to your career?
Oh, very, very important. I mean, it's the knowledge and the respect he's got for racing. Down the road, knows lots of people, been around it, been to lots of tracks, builds lots of cars. He's just very knowledgeable, and you take his information and you put it in the car, and it works 100% all the time.
All right, the last way we're going to go now, and I mean, kind of sticking with that theme of being young. Interviewed last week one of our young Bandolero drivers here. He drives the number 13. It's Aidan McDonald. I asked him a question. I said, who are some of your biggest influences? And the first name he rhymed off was Jonathan Hicken. What does it mean, like now you're kind of on that other end of your career where these young drivers are now looking up to you? I mean, he's got no direct family relation to you, but he seems to love you and look up to you and take advice from you. What does that mean to you now as a driver?
He's good friend of the family, friend of my young fella Ethan. To look up to me, I know where he's come from, because I mean, I looked up to guys through the years like Greg Seward and Terry Clattenburg, all them fellas when I was a kid. You know what I mean, growing up, and you gotta have somebody to follow, and that's what he's doing.
Well, you certainly lead a very good example for him. I mean, he had a Bandolero run today. It was going very well. Then he had a real bad wreck on the last lap there. What kind of advice do you have to a young driver coming off a big wreck for probably the first time in his career?
Yeah, just got to get back in and do it. I mean, you can't think of that stuff. It can happen 2 or 3 weeks in a row. You can't get yourself beat up too bad. Just get back in it, do your thing, and keep learning, and go from there.
Well, Jonathan, I want to tell you, looking back at 1998, I will say at that point in time, I was one of the fans in the stands. I mean, following you along, we both grew up down east in Montague together, so I can't say it enough that I am very proud of you here today. Congratulations on the big win, and good luck on the rest of the season. We'd like to see Dave Gorvette #2.
I appreciate it. Thanks for everything you do.
You're welcome. Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I enjoyed interviewing Jonathan. Once again, good luck to the #5 team on the rest of their season. Can't wait to see them back here at OBS in August. Stay tuned for more special features with the FatCat Sports Network, including the legend of No Show Watson. Thanks for tuning in, race fans, to the FatCat Sports Network. Reporting for FSN, I'm Jeremy McDonald. This driver's first win of the season. It'll be the 60.
Flashback.
Yeah, driving a little too hard, oversteered, overcorrected, and then got a little bump from Randy, but that wasn't his fault, and ended up flipping the wall. After hitting the wall, just making sure I was okay, and that everyone else, everyone was kind of out of the way, and I didn't end up hitting anyone else. It was kind of a stupid moment, but
well,
now I get to learn from it.
So Randy, I mean, you had a front row seat to it, and we all know you didn't do anything wrong. You had nowheres to go and that, but what did you see from your vantage point?
Really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, because last year I did basically wreck the same corner, and I just knew.
Exactly.
I can't even believe it just looks like Randy.
Trying to figure out how they just did it, eh?
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Better than mine.
Besides everything on the front end, what was replaced?
Water pump, tensioner, idler, rad, exhaust pipe.
Belt bumper, hood fender.
Yeah, belt bumper, hood fender.
Rebuilt
hoses.
rail.
Rebuilt the frame rail. Yeah. Probably about 20 hours to get it all fixed up. We had mainly Steve Perry, Colton Dennis, Trevor, Zach Chappell. Everyone kind of came together and got the car ready.
Randy from Morris Support.
Randy from Morris Support.
Yeah, exactly here.
We haven't gotten it out yet, but hopefully hoping for the best, see what happens.
There you go, just gonna send it. All right, good luck, guys. Excellent job on the hard work here. Fresh paint and everything like that, and not even a speck of duct tape on it or nothing like that. Let's see if it looks like this at the end of the day. Getting a little anxious there, pushing it 3 wide. Henderson once again. Getting caught as a monkey in the middle there. All side by side, the 76 and the 60 car. Both cars are taller than that. Can't reckon that 30 laps of the feature. The 95 of Jeff Bridges, and more importantly, the division finish line. 2 winners on the day. Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner. Let's hear for the 95 of Jeff Bridges. Your points divisional championship, though, going into the 4 of Shane Bridges. Hope the 95 team likes the smell of burnt rubber. But by the burn-ins, the 95 will do it. Definitely going to get a hold of Jeff here. Gretchen Shane a little later on. We'll move it into the 07 FSN later on through the week. All of our division Like I told you earlier, he just does not like tires. Ain't gonna be much left of those ones here for next season. Time to breathe easy now, Mr. Bridges, or shall I say champ. Mini Stock Division champion 2019, 4 years in the making, all smiles and victory lane, hugs all around, surrounded by his family, friends, and loved ones alike. Certainly, as I mentioned, well deserved. He put a lot of work into this over the last couple of years. Gonna take a year off to get his head back on straight after a stressful summer. All the best to the four Shane Bridges. Hopefully it's not a long exit from the track. Some of these nights I'll never forget, and some of them I'll never remember. You just never know what we were going to get into together. Some glad we had that last beer in my new shop the other day, man. Little did I know that was the last beer I'd ever drink with you. But until we meet again, have some BLs up there and I'll have some down here for you. Love you, bud. Rest in peace. And Jesse Leclerc trying to hang on the inside. Meanwhile, in front of those two cars, the 47 of Jordan Leclerc had a rough opening heat. Looks like he's got that car figured out a little better here now. This one is just rolling right along. Still side by side behind him though as Cummings tries to get around the 46 here now. Should be able to clear him here coming out of turn 2 maybe, but the 46 fights back and sticks that nose right back in there. As the 46 continues to be pretty sticky on that inside, we'll see if Cummings can pull up here now and block him off on the backstretch this time. Checkered flag here for the 47 of Jordan Leclerc. Trouble behind him and down low of him. White flag is out now. Ken Cornish hang on. Watson trying to come up the inside of him. One more time, he's going to come down to the final set of corners. Watson working him on the inside. Cornish trying to hang on the inside. It'll be a drag race to the start finish line. Wow. That one wasn't decided by very much. that one first. That one just went up to be a slow replay as well. A photo finish here. Wow. Provincial Credit Union Outlaw Division, thinking it might be the 19. Well, that was quite a save by the 99 to Gerald Deland. Well, that was quite a save by the 99 to Gerald Deland. As we close the account on another season of the Provincial Credit Union Outlaw Division, James Doucette driving home a division championship for the 27 of Matt Watson, amassing quite a points lead throughout the entire season, joining 11 other drivers at OBS with 3 or more divisional championships. The 26 of Jeff Richard, solid season, second in championship points. Also, on top of that, your Super Series winner as well, heading into the next season as one of the contending favorites in this division, as it will be wide open again. Richard should be coming back strong with a great team. Speaking of his teammates, it was the 47 of Jordan Leclerc coming across the start-finish line in first to make things a little tricky. Heading to the tech shed, a replaced shock on the 47 who he got from his brother Jesse did not pass the tech inspection, giving the feature win to the 46 of Uncle Jesse Leclerc, also giving him Rookie of the Year honors for 2019. Well done to the both of them, putting on quite a show down the home stretch, as Jordan will now head to the off-season scratching his head, as Jesse will have bragging rights all winter long. It could be a long winter for this guy right here. There's a big one to get going. Whoa! off into this track zone almost immediately.
And boom goes the dynamite.
There goes a tire. What a commission. Big fire at 6.9 kilometers. Who's the fan? Who thinks Little Sexy's gonna win? Make some noise. Oh, we got a fire here. Hey, let's hear for the 6.9 of Logan Glenn. Usually we'll refer to the Brackley and the fire. That means they're doing very well. There goes a tire. Who's the fan? Who thinks Little Sexy's gonna win? Make some noise. Oh, we got a fire here. I think you're not home. Hey, let's hear for the 6.9 of Logan Glenn. Usually we'll refer to the Brackley and the fire. That means they're doing very well.
Meanwhile,
Coming in a turn 4 with just the flag wins. It will be the 4 of Shane Bridges.
Black flag
go to 50 tonight, Jimmy. Back bumper of Morris in trouble now on turn 1. Terrible lane now. Rolling under caution here as the lane gets turned around and heads up. Back bumper of Morris in trouble now on turn 1. Terrible lane now.
Troy Burke and Tyler Gauthier again.
I'll give you one guess who's around. Leading the way in points, Andrew Thompson second, Brandon Albert in the top 3. And Sheehan and Thompson all over him. And that's what Albert turned around. Brandon Albert in the top 3.
Over the last couple of weeks, these two talented drivers racing door to door, side by side, that taking a toll on their relationship on the track following this incident. Albert getting out of his car and a little bit of a stare down to the 06 around 3 and 4 on the cool down laps, and that'll send the Snowman right through the infield, heading towards the middle of 1 and 2 with the field barreling down on him. I'm sure a change of shorts later and the Snowman was okay to get back into the action there. Luckily, everyone coming out of it unscathed, but definitely scary moment there for the 26.
Help set off that chain of events there. Now for second place, going forward to the inside. Now Brandon Albert, the 06. And now the 4 of Andrew Thompson. Early moments, trouble already. The 60th Stephen Anderson sent the wrong way into turn 4. And back on top in points. Trouble now, Zach Chappell. Wow, I don't know how that field made it through.
While Nick Chason here doing his best Robbie McEwen impression here, making some contact with that outside wall as they cross the start-finish line.
As they're side by side for 4th and 5th. Brewer, though, a bit of a misstep there, going to clog it up at the end. Hard lick there by the 14 of Colin Brewer. Had nowheres to go. Under caution here. Brewer, though, a bit of a misstep there, going to clog it up at the end. Hard lick edge, around 3 and 4, here they come, looking for the white flag. Cornish not knowing the block high or low, trouble now around 1 and 2. Cody Palmer and Harley Cornish.
And with racing as tight as it is in this division, it is certainly bound to happen sooner or later, and from time to time, things just don't work out right. One thing's for sure, though, our fans getting their money's worth out of this division, providing plenty of thrills and spills for the fans out there.
To slow that one down and see just exactly how close that one went. Just a quick picture and they're going to head on out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 12 of Sam Rogers. And here we are with our local Legends Division driver. It is the 33 of Gary Dunning. And well, Gary, let's introduce you to the folks here at Oyster Bed Speedway. Just kind of a who's your fodder there type of thing.
Gary Dunning, grew up in Winslow all my life, right around the Stockford track all. all my life, but never started running Legends till about 2009. First year of the track, I run 3 or 4 races, maybe the first year, and then second year maybe a couple races, but then that was it. Oh, it was pretty cool, I guess, but it was pretty loose and dirty and stuff. But you know, that's a long time ago, so I don't totally remember it all.
Of course, this year, you know, thanks to Red Rock Harley Davidson, Toymaster Motorsports there, and that we were able to introduce a local Legends division. Talk about how you started out in Legends a few years ago.
I bought a car, started in 2009, run the season, run the full tour season that year, and the Friday nights at Scotia, and the next year run the full season, and then I kind of get out of it for a bit and run 3 or 4 races a year, and then I didn't race for 3 or 4 years, and then the last few years I've been only run 3 or 4 races a year. So then now that there's local races here, it's a little closer to home, so trying to get a little more seat time. So
what made it a Legends car that you would like to jump into? What attracts you to this car?
Well, you don't need a crew. You don't take up a whole bunch of space in your garage. It's way easier. The cost is probably a little bit less, and you know, there's a bunch of guys now buying some cars here, and looking forward to. Hopefully, the class gets bigger. There's a lot of interest, and you know, I think it'll be a great fit for those Bandolero guys coming forward too. Yeah, these cars are pretty. These cars, believe it or not, are harder to drive. So I'm told than Pro Stock. I've never driven Pro Stock, but I got a couple of friends that they've been running them and run these too, and they say these are way harder to drive than a Pro Stock car. But you're always on the wheel. Like they're short and narrow and no sway bars, and you know they're pretty tough to drive. The younger kids, that's why they make good drivers, because they come out of those Bandolero cars and they get no fear and don't use brakes. So that's why they do well in Legend cars. Yeah, we've seen probably mile an hour of around 80. We run not as fast as the Pro Stocks, but you know, when the faster guys are running 14 7s and 8s. Today I'm running probably 9s. So we're not too far off the Pro Stock guys.
We did have a radar, and the 51 was clocked that day the fastest into turn 3, and it was 126.5 kilometers per hour into turn 3. We want to wish you all the luck in the rest of the year, and as you said, hopefully this continues to grow, and if it does, it'll be thanks to drivers like you who came out in our first year.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it, and I bought and sold some cars, kind of helped get the class going. I'll have a few more cars for sale, so hopefully that keeps going, and we get a dozen or 15 cars here and have good racing every Saturday night. So that was great.
Perfect. Thanks, Gary.
Take care.
There can only be one ever first-time champion, and Kyle McEachran is it. Toymaster Motorsports, Red Rock, Harley Davidson, and Polaris Legends Division, thanking them for their great sponsorship. Big smile on the face of Kyle McEachran, and just as important, able to grab his first career win in the division earlier in the day as well. Times that by 2. Great job, Kyle McEachran, on a great season, and thank you to all of our drivers from PEI, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick who joined us in our inaugural season. on location with the FSN network here. And first of all, congratulations on the big triple win, Brandon. But first of all, before you get into that actual triple win night, I mean, coming into the night, you must have been feeling very good. I mean, you were getting very close to getting that first heat win of the season. I mean, you had 4 second-place finishes, including 3 of them the weekend before. So you must have been feeling confident going into the night.
Yeah, we had speed in the car. We just couldn't get out and get away from the 06 is very strong, so we just had to get out and finally get some track to ourselves and be able to run our own laps. But we have a very strong car, but it finally paid off last weekend. So.
Exactly. So you come into the night, you get that first opening heat big win under your belt. I mean, that must have been a relief as well, too. I mean, you've been coming close all season to finally get that first heat win this year.
Yep. Once you get one, it takes a lot of weight off the team and everybody to help you out. So usually once you get your first, you never forget it. So.
Who told you? How did you find out? And when was it that you found out you were the big feature win finally?
Whenever we ran the car through tech, we loaded it up, and then we looked over and they were taking the other car apart that finished first. So they told us to wait around. So we waited around, and then Blair, the tech that techs the Hondas, he walked over and he said that we're going to be given the first place trophy due to another car failing tech. So that's how we were given our first ever feature win.
That must be very exciting. First big feature win of the career. I mean, how does that feel like to finally pay back all those people that helped you through the way, and not only pay yourself as well too, the credit that you're due?
It felt good. That was our one goal this year, to win one feature, but we didn't get it the way we wanted, but I think we got enough car. We should be able to get one more this year.
Yes, and we look at this last name that's on this car here. It is Albert. Now, it is very synonymous here with stock car racing at Oysterbed Speedway. Not only your dad, but you have an uncle that's been driving for quite some time. Tell us about growing up with your father, Chris, your uncle, Kevin, around the stock cars as well, too. What was that like as a growing up experience?
Well, usually growing up, we're always at Uncle Kevin's. We always helped him. Dad always helped him, so we just grew up used to watching Uncle Kevin and Dad work on his car. But I remember watching Uncle Kevin win a couple triple wins before. I know they're hard to get and they don't come by. So.
When did you first get behind a stock car, and tell us that little story there? I think we might even let your mom in on it for the first time.
Yeah, I think me and Dad were 13, and he had the original car that I drove last year, and we took it down to I was 14. We took it down to a practice with Dad, and then Dad let me take it out, but Mom didn't really know too much about it. She wouldn't have approved of it, but Dad let me take it out, and then that's when I got hooked, and then we got the 4 Fun, and I drove that for a year, and I kind of wrecked that car pretty quick. They're not as built as strong as these, and then Dad retired the year after, so I jumped in behind the wheel of a street stock.
What's some of that advice there that your father and or your uncle, of course, has shared with you early on in these days? Because this is not an easy division to learn in.
We had a lot of long Tuesday nights, and I always watched Uncle Kevin and Dad, so we went down a couple Tuesday nights, and I just followed my uncle around the track, and that's how I kind of learned out how to drive. But these things are real different. If they're not tight in the RSN, they'll go right around on you. So.
Exactly. Now, you seem to be, though, you've been at it now for a couple of years. You know, you were slugging away in those early days. I know it must have been frustrating, but you finally got that first win there, and then now you've gotten your first feature win. You've been progressing in that right direction. I know 2 years ago you finished 8th in points. Last year you finished 6th in points. Now, if you're setting the bar with anybody, Dad's best points finish was 5th, so you're getting very close to that. Your uncle has finished 2nd, but there's never been an Albert on that championship trophy. Where is your goals over the next, say, this year, next year, and the one after that?
Well, we always dreamed to win a championship, but it's a very tough division to win one in. But we think that's our goal this year, is top 3 in points. We want to finish up on the board this year. So right now, as long as we keep on getting through the tech shed, I think we'll have a car to be right there right at the end of the year running for a championship.
We wish you all the best here in the rest of the season, Brandon. You're certainly a delight to have around the pit area. Your smile is great, and I know talking to a couple of your competitors at the start of last Saturday, they were saying how much respect they have for you as a driver, and they don't mind running side by side with you. And that was coming from a couple of the top drivers. So take that to the bank there, and good luck, Brandon.
Thank you, Jamie.
shot. I don't like this any more than you do, but we ain't gonna make it, son. We're gonna hang it up. Whoa, negatory, what are you, crazy or something? We come this far, ain't we? Look, when we say we're gonna do a job, we do a job. It's me they're after. They don't even know snow exists. Oh, they don't? Well, now, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna introduce them to the boys. So move over a little bit, good buddy, because the snowman is coming through. Hold on your ass, Fred.
Hot damn, we're gonna make it.
But Gracie, you are the reason that I'm filming this right now, by the way. Yes. You want to go beside your little addition to the car? I asked him, I said, where did that come from? Oh, that was Gracie. Aww. What's her name?
Lamadoo.
And it plays music?
Yeah. It's
Oh.
like the background story to it.
He must love that for red flags then, does he? When did it go in the car?
When did it go in? I don't know. A couple weeks ago.
Now, is this a PG story that we're able to tell the crowd?
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing big. He sent me a Snapchat one day of a llama out in the field, and he basically said, there's a picture of your family. So I went and bought him a llama for his car. There's nothing bad.
That is too funny. Well, we all love Mitchie here, of course.
I love it.
Being introduced to your new little girl in your car there, and just found out who the matchmaker was here. You want to talk about your new girlfriend in the car here?
Oh, well, that's my doll.
Yeah. What's her name?
Lamadoo, I guess.
Lamadoo. Now, does she come out of the car at night and jump into bed with you?
No, stays there.
Oh, so just good luck. She loves the car too much, does
Yeah.
she? There you go. And you just love Gracie for giving that to you, eh?
Yes.
There you go. Lamadoo, this is Mitch's new good luck charm. Now, when did it go in the car?
Probably a month ago.
A month ago? There you go. So this is going to be in the next victory lap photo, which is probably going to be tonight, I think, maybe? into the 06. As they thunder the light forward, Andrew Thompson there, getting bit by the 35, and he'll have to recover and get back on his horse. Mitchell Arsenault and Myers there having a little duel on the front. Arsenault will clear for the lead. Black and yellow though creeping up behind him down the inside. The 27 in the second. Oh, and scary moment coming into turn 4. Sideways was the 48 with the 4 or 5 cars barreling down on them. Luckily, Myers able to get it back and under control quickly. Lap and a half to go as front for the 51 Mitchell Arsenault. Continue to put that hard work, those blood, sweat, and tears into that car, and it is paying off here tonight. Grab that semi-win. The one thing certain about racing is that it always doesn't pay off. You could put a lot of hard work into it, and it just might not ever get that win, but hey, you love it when you're able to put that hard work into it and the result in the checkered flag. I'm sure this driver is going to be very happy, and a lot of people around him as well. It'll be the 51 of Mitchell Arsenault. Mitchell Arsenault trying to hang on to second. Home forward's going to see those checkered flag waving in the air. Mitchell Arsenault hanging on for a second place finish. In both racing and life, things can change pretty quickly. You can go one moment from savoring the sweet taste of success with all your loved ones around you, to having to lean on your loved ones through a tough period. But rest assured, your racing family, small but mighty, is there in support as we say goodbye to a very good friend in the pit area. It's never easy to say goodbye to the people and the things that we love. Those smiles and memories are cherished forever. And as for that car that the two of you have loved so much over those years, and finally gained success towards the end, well, you have thrown the torch to a family friend, to him to hold it high. And Ron, rest assured, the 29 is in good hands. And we're going to put him right on the spot here. Just said hello to Brian Arsenault, our newest street stock driver here, day one. Brian, welcome here to Oyster Bed Speedway. I don't mean to put you on the spot now, but we're going to put you on the spot here right away.
Was interested in trying this next year. Wasn't really planning on being here this year. But then I heard Jeff had the car for sale, and I was very good friends with his father, rest his soul. And they wanted me to go talk to him, so we went and met, and we made a deal, and he's in Vegas, and I'm here.
There you go. And what brings you into stock car racing here from an experience?
Drag raced a lot, and into old cars, vintage cars, and always wanted to try this. Never hung out around here because the itch was too big to come out and not do it. So I'm coming to race here.
There you go. So drag racing, well, the good news is that there is 2 straightaways, so you probably are going to be fine on those ones there. So you did some dragging for a while there. What were some of your more memorable drag cars? Did you have one through your career or a couple?
Just mostly the one. It's a 74 Cuda, Plymouth Cuda, 340. And now it's restored 100% and we don't drag it no more.
There you go.
We just car shows and drive it around.
There you go. So what was your best quarter mile out of it, time in mile per hour?
Off the street and just changing tires, I think was 12:89, I believe it was, off the street.
How many laps have you put on this number 29 car here before the start of today now?
I think I had 6 10-minute sessions. The car feels great. I'm comfortable in the car. I just got to really pay attention where everybody is, and other than that, I think I'm going to do great.
Starting at the back of the pack there, just kind of going to get your feet under you and kind of go as the day goes.
Just kind of find my spot and find somebody maybe to follow for a while.
What do you think of this high bank turns there? Have you gotten the chance to go out side by side with a couple of cars in practice yet?
A little bit, yeah. It's a different feeling, but I think I'll have to just adjust to it.
There you go. I mean, you know, drag racing, you're not exactly supposed to touch each other's cars with your cars and that, so that might be a little different feeling the bumper on your on you, is it?
Are they going to do that?
Maybe not on purpose, maybe sometimes on purpose, but you know.
Yeah, I examined the back of the car, a lot of different color paint back there, so
there you go.
I was kind of expecting that.
Excellent. As you said, you were definitely close with him as well too, so we're definitely going to dedicate the day to him with this 29 car, and just hoping you're able to drive her onto the trailer at the end of the day. Maybe if you gain a few positions, well, all the better as well too. But good luck today, Brian.
Well, thank you very much.
Off his street stock feature win here at OBS on Labor Day Monday. Here is Michael Cormier with a special guest commentary.
Pretty interesting, actually. We were down towards Frank Fraser's place one day, and I don't remember what we were doing. We were down there just to get some parts, or I think my uncle wanted a motor, or there was something going on. And we came across this old chassis in the woods, and we were thinking, like, damn, that would be a good chassis to you know, build a street stock or sportsman out of it. And we noticed it was a little bit rough. It was an old Chris Reed car, or Kyle, I'm not sure who really run it, but that was one of Scott Fraser's last cars that he built. So it was pretty cool to be able to put that together and make such nice work out of it. Bob and Ron Lane helped us a lot with the body. They do great work. Dougie White did a lot of work too. My uncle, and you know, it was a lot of late nights trying to make it look good and cut everything out of it, make sure it was it was legal for being a street stock. So yeah, it came along pretty good. I mean, it's competitive and it looks good, and makes the sponsors happy, you know.
Oh wow, no, that's an awesome story.
It's a great experience. I mean, I went down to PI my first trip out, and I actually remember the 27 kind of taught me, you know, yeah, the ropes of the racetrack. He raced me pretty rough, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta do that too. So yeah, he kind of taught me that part of the game, and then I kind of carried it over throughout the year. And so far, I've been doing pretty good. You know, you just got to be super aggressive and be able to use your bumper the right way. They're very heavy cars, and we're going at speeds that probably the cars shouldn't be going. So, you know, it's pretty cool to be able to transition from that to a legend car and all that. You know, how you were saying it is very precise. Like we had Martin Landry in a legend car here Thursday practicing, and he was saying about how hard it was, him coming out of a street stock, and he got a hold of it, but it took a little while. You know, it takes a little while for a lot of the guys. So yeah, that's definitely true. But it just makes me that much better in the street stock to know the precision part. Sorry, and to be able to race a little bit rougher in the legend car since I got a hang of it. Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, we just came off of a race at 660, and then we were late getting there, and then we had to put a set of rear end gears in the legend car yet. We had to service it all up, and then street stock didn't have the proper weight and left side in it yet, so it was a lot of work. I think we missed first practice in both divisions, and then we tried real hard to make it out for second practice. We made it out for a little bit, and then the cars were both pretty good right off the bat. Cup heat race and semi was basically our practices, and we were just a mid-pack car, and then feature cars came around. We did the right adjustments at the right time, and ended up having a pretty good weekend with the first in the street stock and third in the legend car. Yeah, so it was a great weekend for us. We love it up there. You guys definitely make it feel like home.
Pretty good down the straightaway. A little trouble with that first quarter for the 29, but that's okay. Up front, Mike Dusty challenging with a little ball. Chapel here now trying to hang on.
You run the outside, which is different. Petty and 660 where I usually go the most. It was it's an inside track, and you can't do much on the outside. So then I had Mike Dusky help me a lot with that. You know, I seen him run the outside of my car, and he kind of taught me a little bit, and I was able to put that into a legend car, and then the legend car is just basically a street stock that's smaller, twitchier, and faster, so it just reels you back a little bit to get in the street stock, right? So, yeah, I mean, it was a great experience, just to get to feel the track again, get around there, just feel comfortable there again, you know?
He just wants to start that 75-lap race a little later on today. As they continue on at the doors. A little slide up the racetrack there by the 42.
I started out, I was 12 years old. I just practiced for a little bit and ran half a year at Petty. I believe we ran one race at Scotia just to try it out. And now I'm 19, so it's been 8 or 7 years I've been racing, and it's been the best years of my life. Honestly, I love racing, and I learned a lot about being able to be professional. You know, like, there's a lot of big sponsors and big names that are out there watching you when you're racing, and you know, it's a family sport. You got to be professional. You got to be, even with tempers and emotions, obviously, it's just, you got to take into consideration that there's always somebody watching, and yeah, I learned to be better mannered, be more professional, just enjoy the sport, and hopefully make everyone else being able to enjoy it that's watching as well.
Competitor for a heat race, a man who only had 75 laps to that, and a big trophy. After the highly respected volunteers.
The confidence is real high. We came in and we right away, we were next to Mike and Gracie, and they help us a lot, you know, and we already had a setup kind of put together after the last feature, so we knew what the car wanted. We just had to build off of the weather and how the track was changing a little bit, but yeah, I mean, the car came out of the trailer and practice. Me and Mike were real fast. He was probably the one to compete with me in the feature, and then in the feature, I don't know if the other drivers were saving up or what happened, but I know Colton was real good, and he was in the lead lap, and 27 would have would have probably put on a pretty good show if he was on the outside. So, yeah, I mean, the car just was good all day, and we were fortunate enough to bring it home after starting from the rear.
A little bit on the outside. He's going to want some speed down. Your Piston Cup for Von Beers Memorial underway. Action all around.
Well, I knew it was a big race because a lot of the hometown guys went down there and they couldn't even break the top 10. Like, they were saying about how hard it was to get through the field and how rough they are down there compared to down home, and how every inch is so important. And I mean, I didn't know that New Brunswick drivers had won it, but I knew that PEI had a lot of strong cars over the years, and when I seen it, it was it was pretty cool. You know, to be the first driver from New Brunswick to take it home, or from any other province really. But I think this just hopefully will bring more people from outside to run those races, because that is a really nice trophy and race, and I love that it's dedicated to someone, and you know, it really deserves to have the 20 to 30 street stocks out there racing for that race, because that's a really good race. It's a really fun weekend.
Action all around the track. I don't think anybody's happy out there. Smoke coming from the car, the 51, and maybe the driver's ears as well too. Big chase on around 3 and 4, pretty wild.
I would say the international and sportsman car, because my uncle's old racer, Tim Rogers, used to race, and he's a 4-time champion. He was a 5-time champion, and then they actually let him through tech, and he was tying Frank Fraser for the most. And they got him through tech. He won the race, and then after a race, they went over to the trailer and DQ'd him, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, that'd be a big race for me to win. It means a lot to my uncle, it means a lot to old driver, and it'd be pretty cool to be able to put my name up there and give my uncle his 5th international win.
Side by side from the lead, it will be under caution. 10 laps left up on that Fairfield Ford scoreboard.
Well, when it comes to PEI, I have Donald and Tracy to help me out. We have a lot of people in the pit to help us out as well, and obviously my uncle and aunt that everybody knows pretty much around the track. They brought me up through racing after I was crying for a car every year, and they got me one. I guess I'm just really spoiled. And then obviously have all our sponsors that back us up. Munch Pressure Dodge, Crossroads Cycles, Old Fashioned Meat Market, Sports Rock. There's Post-Tech Moncton. There's just so many people that back us up. Sean Lewis, Neil and Dougie and everyone that helps on the car. Just small things, it means a lot to us, and we really appreciate that we can go out there and be competitive even on our budget. So yeah, they make the weekend real fun and help us race up to 30 or 40 races in a year.
Well, I've been going to the races ever since I was born, really, because Daryl and Uncle Daryl always raced, so my mom babysat like me and Lindsay and Candace and Colton and Brody and everybody. She took us out of the track back when the grandstands were on the back strips, the great big grandstands. So yeah, I've been, as long as I can remember, I've been on the track.
Yeah. So now in those days, a lot of kids, when they're playing in the sand and the dirt and all that, but were you more drawn to the cars? Did you have an initial real love? Like, did you love watching them race around?
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't wait to go to the racetrack. It was just, that's all we wanted to do was go to the racetrack. I don't know, back then, remember it all first started, like Kyle was racing, Uncle Daryl was racing, then Kenny started racing, and me and Brandon are obviously really good friends, so there's always someone there, and I don't know, a lot of people just went and hung out and played, but I just find something to stand on or whatever, and I just loved watching the cars go around. That was the coolest thing. Whenever, I always liked street stock. I always never really had any interest in modified or hobby or anything. I remember watching, I used to get a real kick out of Gerald because it was just, I don't know, I just got a kick out of him. You just go out there and just drive the wheels off. So I don't know, I don't really have any particular races that I thought were the best. But you just giggle and go on, and you just go to the junkyard and get spark plugs. He wouldn't go buy them, he'd just go get them from something. He'd go out there and he'd still do well. It was just he just thought it was a cool thing. And then what was really neat about it all was once I got a little older and I was 12, 13, Nick started racing. And then I really liked Nick because Nick's a lot like Gerald. He's crazy. It just doesn't matter. He just drives the wheels off. And I always thought Nick was really cool. And then I raced for fun. And then the first time I drove street stock, I was there and it was I ended up starting, the first time I took my position, I was second or whatever. And it was Stephen Gass, Nick, and Gerald were all behind me, and I'm thinking to myself, what did I get myself into? This isn't terrible.
That's a holy shit moment right there. That's wow, this is.
I was this is not going to be good. And not one of them ever did me wrong ever. Every one of them were really good to me, really. No one ever did anything that they shouldn't have. And I remember even one time I was racing, and I forget who it was. Someone was picking at me, I don't forget who it was Don McNeil or something, and the next thing, smash, and they were all just teamed up on me. It was just the coolest thing. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
a little bit different here now. A little bump and rock around 1 and 2. Alex seeing up front on the outside to the start-finish line. A little bit of anxiousness probably. You just probably wanted the day to get over with.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Whenever we got there, it was the longest day ever at the racetrack. Well, we did it once before, but this year for some reason was different because we've been doing it and we just wanted to win it, and then we won it and we don't do it anymore. We're done. That's it. We don't have to do it again. So yeah, we wanted to get it done. We didn't want to have to race a full season again.
Division leader at the start of the day, the 06 Alex. Solid points day to take it on home. 26 for Randy Stoller. For the second weekend ever, 29 of Brian Arsenault. Been a very familiar crowd here.
I learned a lot from. I kind of picked a little bit from everybody. Like everyone when I first started coming in, they're telling you how to do stuff and do this and do that. I learned a lot just from following people that I knew were good. Like I used to always follow Nick. I used to always follow Nick around because I just kind of learned a lot from him, like how you can get someone squeezed the inside and then get the big crossover. Like I don't know. I just followed people that I knew how to get around people, and then I just learned from them. Like I don't know. Like I had a lot of people tell me how to do things, but I never really listened. I kind of just went out and did whatever I had to do, and it worked out. So.
Business picking up on that front row.
To me, if you can pass someone without rooting them out of the way, and you can get to the inside of them and get by someone without just muck rooting your way through, I think that just makes you a better driver, really, because anyone can go and just smash into everybody, push everybody other way, but if you can go and pass somebody clean and get through with the pack, that makes you a good race car driver, I think, just my opinion. The day of the last race, it was really no different than any other race. We knew what we had to do, and it was obviously just go and just finish all 3 races and just don't do anything stupid. So we just went in the car, we just got the car, so it worked good, and we went out the first heat race, and everyone was like, just go out and just finish the race, and then obviously me and Nick ended up going up and racing for first and second, because as soon as the car was good, I was like, well, I gotta go. And then we went, and then once we finished second in the first heat race, I seen where Andrew finished, so I knew once we did that in the first heat race, I knew we were pretty much set. So after that, it was we were like, let's just go and drive around. So that's exactly what we did. We just went out and we just drove around. We didn't push the car, we just went out and stayed in the trail and we had to do. So.
Made sure you didn't lose any points.
Yeah, we didn't want to do anything stupid. So I just went out and we just treated like any other day. I mean, everyone was pretty nervous. Like Brody and Jake and Cody, and they were pacing the floor, and everyone was just nervous, thinking something was going to happen, like what's going to break or whatever. But no, it worked out good. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, to be honest with you, I was racing with Kenny, and Kenny was on the inside of me, and I had whenever we finished the race, my right side tire was flat. So I knew the tire was going down, so I was kind of racing with Kenny, and then I looked and I seen we were in 5th, and I was like, well, Kenny probably wants to finish in the top 5 or whatever, because, and I was like, whatever. So when I went in turn 3, I just drifted the corner, and then, yeah, I wasn't really thinking about anything really. I pretty much knew I had it won after the semi. Anyway, so I was just like, I'm just out there, just kind of driving around. knew Mike had a good car after practice, so I was talking to Mike and I said, if you win this race, I said if I win the points and you win the race, we're doing a burnout. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, we're gonna go nose to nose, we're gonna do a burnout. And he was like, oh yeah, we're doing that. And then he didn't think he was gonna win, but I knew he had a good car, so I said the same thing to Colton. But whenever he won and we were both doing our burnouts and I came out of the smoke and he was there pointing towards me, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing it. So yeah, no, I'm sure everyone thought it was pretty cool. You don't really see burnouts, like people don't do burnouts much yet, so I'm sure everyone thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't really get too excited over anything, but it was nice. I don't know, it's like anytime we do good, I like to come in and I like to see everyone happy. I mean, I just drive the car, but there's a whole lot more to it than that. I mean, the guys help out a lot. So when you come in and everyone's excited and everyone's like, we won or whatever, I mean, that probably means more to me than the trophy or anything else. I like seeing everyone have a good time.
Yeah.
And it's been Brody and Jake, Cody, Mom, Dad, Miles. Like, I got a big crew. Like, I got a lot of help, so.
It's awesome.
And it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
We're all still here. You know, I mean, there's times where I'm working, I'm not even here, and they're here working on the car. Everyone's pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the car to be good, and no one really has a job. Everyone just knows what has to be done, and everyone just does what they do. And we go to the track, and the car's always pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, have a season, Alex Sheehan, incredible. Co-leader in total heat wins with 6, leader in feature wins with 3, leader in the division for total wins with 9, recording also 2 triple wins on the season. Street stock champion for 2019 after finishing 2nd in 2015. Incredible season here by the 06. But with all due respect, photo of the day right here between the 42 of Mike Dusky and his favorite fan. It was all smiles in victory lane, finally able to grab that 29 feature win for the 42. Congratulations, team. As well, big congratulations, the 4, Andrew Thompson, 2nd in Super Series points, 2nd in divisional points. Stand tall, Dr. Thompson, you had an incredible breakthrough season in 2019, and well, maybe our hearts broke just a little bit here for the 35 of Colton Ford. He dug as deep as he could to try to get that triple win. Hopefully, though, in the off season, once that sting wears away, he'll remember that he had an incredible season as well. 6 heat wins, 2 feature wins, 2nd in the division for total wins with 8. The 37 of Brandon Albert, mission accomplished, looking to get top 3 in points. He would finish the season 3rd in points, just ahead of the 27 of Nick Chason. The 2 of these guys here spending a lot of time on this car, and it paid off for black and yellow with Nick and Andrew, Super Series champions of 2019. And to close it out, Mitchie Bear, the 51 of Mitchell Arsenault, that smile as big as can be, taking home 2019 Rookie of the Year honors. Congratulations to all the teams on a very successful season.
I'm coming in! Watch the pace car! Get me out for that pace car! The race is over for us! Lincoln, he's all twisted. Just give me the high gear! Get me out here! I got it! Pace car's on the front! Let's go! Come on, man, come on! Go, go, go! Get out there and help them! Go, go, go!
I'm not sure if there's been a race team that every time I'm in the pit walk here, there's at least 3 of you on that side of the car there. There it is, eh? Is this your secret to success? You haven't run too bad here locally at all in the features and that whenever you guys really get down to business. What do you think about today, Derek?
Well, we're hoping that we're going to have a real good finish, hopefully win this thing today, but we have a little bit of a tight race car now, so we're trying to free it up.
There you go. Well, I know you'll definitely wheel her no matter what. When are you going to tell him it's missing a tire?
Hopefully he don't notice.
I was going to tell him before he started to not stall it when he's going out because it's on video. What does he do? Stalls it.
Exactly.
Let's hope that's the stupidest thing he does all day.
Let's hope so.
The worst thing is you could just piss somebody off, maybe.
That before and got pissed off.
I don't think I've ever seen a Ford worked up at this track. Why are you smiling, Colton? You ever been worked up out there? The 11 of Tyler Gauthier. If you think he's fast on the track, you should try to track him down in the pit area if you have a camera in hand. And it'll be the 11 of Tyler Randy Miller for second. And it'll be the 11 of Tyler. Not trying to steal any thunder from Tyler Gauthier's first win of this season, but a bit of a mess behind him there crossing the finish line. Robbie McEwen there trying to feather it, coming out of turn 4, just getting into the 77 of Randy Miller. The 01 Troy Burke scored in second, and Randy Miller's rear end will beat out the 40 of Robbie McEwen for third. But great job here by the 11, Tyler Gauthier and Sarah J. Great supporters here of the Speedway and great supporters of fellow competitors, so nice to see them into victory lane. Hard work paying off. And that would bring us to the feature. Matt Palmer trying to maybe get that triple win. Troy Burke in the 01 and the 27 of Tyler Smith trying to catch back up in championship points. This one would be a battle to the end. These drivers running in this tight pack, amazing how many near misses there can be. One coming up here now around 1 and 2. All drivers though, fantastic recovery. And after that little wiggle, the field separated into 2 packs as the 91 of Dylan Gosby continuing to race towards the front. Tyler Gauthier trying to fend him off at first here, but Gosby clear for the lead. Another great example of the close racing we saw in this division. The 18 of Darren McKinnon to the inside of the 11 Tyler Gauthier. Battle on in those closing laps for second place as Hines Racing continues to drive away with it.
we enjoy trying to get to the beach, take some boating in and stuff, and a lot of our off weekends, my girlfriend Brianna, she's from down Nova Scotia, so we go down there a lot in Annapolis Valley, spend some time down there with her family and stuff, and honestly, it's the only life I know. I don't know where I'd be, what I'd be doing. It's hard to believe it any other way. Definitely watching my Uncle Doug. He ran out of my grandfather's shop, and that's actually the same shop I'm racing at right now. And, you know, from, I'd say I was 4 or 5 years old, once I was finally old enough to go to the track. It wouldn't take me at first, but Grandpa would take me out, and then eventually Doug would start taking me out to the track, and he'd drop me off, and we'd sit there, me and Josh, we'd watch practice all day, and just, it was great. Yeah, no, Doug was the originator. He was the first one in the family. Actually, at first, I think Grant actually towed Doug's first stock car away. He wasn't a big fan of it at the get-go. But Doug, he was a big fan of Swede Savage. He used to race at Indy. And that's actually where the 40 originally came from. It was. I mean, it honestly probably wasn't until around 2008, 2009 I really took a big interest in it and just dedicated my whole life to it. At first, you know, I was 14, 15, there's other things I wanted to be doing, and, you know, it took so much time, and, you know, but, you know, it wasn't for Doug and my grandfather and my mother and my Aunt Gracie. I mean, they really pushed me to get to where we are today. You know, there's certainly times I didn't want to go. I remember when we first got the street stock, I was so damn nervous. I didn't want to drive it. I think I was like 15 at the time, and Doug said, "No, you're coming. Don't matter what happens. You just got to get it done, get that first one out of the way." And I'm glad that happened. I do. I remember. I think it was actually the last race Kevin Curtis ever ran, because I remember he hit the wall and I plowed into him at the end of the race. Totaled the car. It was huge. It was basically a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids. we learned a lot that summer racing against Dylan and them, and you know they were the guys to beat, but they had some unfortunate luck at the end of the year, and I think we ended up winning it by like 5 points. And it was a big moment because we lost one of our good buddies actually the night of the banquet that year, and he was a big part of the team. You know, but definitely some good memories from that season. It was a definitely spur-of-the-moment decision. I think it was actually 2013. It was, I want to say, October. And we were just in the shop one night having a few beers, and one of my buddies, knew Craig Sonway pretty good from the track and whatnot. He used to be on the pit crew. And anyways, next thing you know, we're on the phone with him. He said he had a car for sale, and we were trying to figure out how we could make it happen. I had a Harley Davidson at the time, and what do you know, the next Monday we were on our way to Halifax and traded the bike for the car, and haven't looked back since. It's certainly tough, man. You know, we love racing at home, but you also kind of feel that extra bit of pressure. You know, you got so many friends and family in the stands, and you know, you wanna perform as good as you can for them, but you know, at times you got to try and put that all behind you and just focus on, you know, a good finish and keeping the fenders on the car. Travel, and it was just a challenge going to these different tracks and trying to learn Petty and Riverside. I mean, like Riverside is it's a different monster compared to what we're used to here in Oysterbed, and even Halifax. It's flat, it's rough, and honestly, we've had good runs everywhere, but there's nothing like racing at home, that's for sure. Just try and stay focused. Like, we knew we had a decent car. I honestly my guess would have been top 5, but you know, once the race started and we got some heat in the tires, the thing it kept coming to us, and just tried to save the gear, tried to stay focused. You know, there's a lot of fast cars that had to start keeping the field, like Blankhorn and Hicken, and New Gosby and Son White and them guys, and McKinnon. I mean, they're always fast here, and you know, you knew they were coming through the pack, so you're just trying to stay focused, hit your marks. You definitely get a rhythm. To me, it's the sound of the motor when you're letting off, when to get back on the gas. I mean, it's definitely certainly you got to get in the rhythm and try and just keep the wheels under the thing. I was just playing in my mind whether I should take the inside or the outside. Most of the speedy dry was up high. Then at the last second, Chucky, he put a bunch down in the bottom, and I'm like, all right, at least it's probably an even playing field now. But we definitely went into turn one, and it kind of felt like we slid right through the center of the turn, but seemed to stick and got the job done. Oh, big time. We all know Dylan's a hell of a wheelman, and he was just as hungry for a win. So the big thing with us, was to take the inside or the outside. I knew we had real good forward bite, so we kept taking the outside, and it seemed to work for us. Oh, it's unreal. Definitely good to have someone to communicate good with on the radio. Josh Morrison, he was on the radio. We've been best friends since we were kids. We grew up racing together, and the last year or so he's been kind of doing his own thing racing. Hasn't been around as much, but we had another spotter there, one of my good crew members, Danny. He's been on the radio, and he does a great job too. But it was good to have Josh on the radio and get the win and have him with us, because he's been there since day one, and you know he's been a huge part of the team. Yeah, we got a little close, too close for comfort, that's for sure. We just caught the right rear quarter panel right under the flag stand there where the wall comes out. Just trying to use up all the track and trying to put a tire length on Dylan, and just got a little too close for comfort, that's for sure. But definitely rung my bell with this, and I kind of thought at first maybe I caught the right front tire. I was a little worried I might knock the toe out, but the car didn't change at all, thank God. I couldn't believe it at first, but not the first time we made contact there, that's for sure. Probably around the midpoint of the race. Like, I knew the car was good, and I was just trying not to burn up the tires, and the car just stayed consistent. It didn't fall off at all, and I knew Dylan had a good car too, and I knew Blankhorn and Hicken, they were on the move, but I think they may have got caught up in traffic a bit. I honestly, it wasn't until the white flag that I thought it was going to happen. It didn't even feel real. It was unbelievable, the amount of congratulations that I got. Almost felt like Earnhardt winning the 500 driving down pit road. It must have had 15, 20 people shaking my hand. It was unreal. Wasn't playing at all, man. I wish I could do a backflip like Carl Edwards, but she probably wouldn't end up too good. So I just seen all the boys there jumping up and down, happy. Just first thing I thought of, just jump off the car and hug them and just celebrate us. I never seen so many excited guys in my life. Yeah, it was a bit of a mosh pit, the amount of people down in victory lane, which was pretty darn cool. I never would have expected that. It's unreal. My grandfather down in victory lane. it was glad to see him there. He was pretty darn proud of us, and I'm just really glad we could do it for him. Oh my God, man, you have no idea. It's something myself and my grandfather's probably my biggest supporter, and my uncle and all my family. And just something we've dreamed of all along, from being a kid, watching the NASCAR tour, and watching my uncle race. Like, I knew I always wanted to race. Didn't know I'd ever, get this far and deep with it. It's just a dream come true.